There are some who are born distinguished, there are some who are raised in praise. But me, I was always the last in line, a blot in my father's gaze. No cheekbones chiseled on a feline.
Hey guys, what it is, it's me Ash, and I am streaming on Cold War TV tonight, 7 o'clock Central. Here we are. What are we doing? Talking about Lady Death Last Stand. Finally, like some real stuff. For starters, if you're already here, you're super early, you're on time, you can look right, how am I going to point, like here? Yeah, there's some box art for you guys and for us. It's a mock-up right now, but it kind of gives you an idea of where we're at with some stuff. It's incredible, beautiful, amazing artwork from Ashley Witter. Just take a look at that. It's amazing. We're gonna leave it right there for this whole stream, so anybody popping in is gonna be able to get a look at that. We've got a zillion things to talk about. I'm super excited. This is literally well over a year now in the making. Of actual like development and testing and things. This was last September when we kind of finalized everything with Brian and Coffin Comics. And yeah, fast forward a year, here we are. We're talking about the game. It's ready to go live. So yeah, early Christmas. Hey Travis, hey Tazy, hey Fishy, hey, hey Fishing. Zombie, everybody in Twitch. How's it going? I know I'm live on Facebook, but I'm going through this app right now, so I can't really monitor what's going on Facebook too well. Hopefully, you guys can check it out. If you want to see more of what's going on, you can go over to our Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/Cold War, I think. Or if I can put up the chat bot, which I actually set up this time, I just forgot to start it. Hopefully, it'll be working. I've got some links and things, some direct commands you'll be able to use right in the, I guess, yeah, down there. Or no, I guess over the side. Maybe it's the other side. Yeah, this side, I think. In your chat, if you use exclamation point and one of the super cool commands, hopefully it's going to work. If not, hopefully somebody can help us out with some links during the chat. But it looks like this is going to be on here. All right, guys. So I'm going to get to some questions. First, I'm just going to kind of go over a few things about Lady Death just right away. Some of you are going to watch this and have no idea about the game. Some of you have seen a couple of our other streams or followed us on some of our other social media and know some stuff about it. I'm going to start from the beginning. First of all, I'm Ash Masco. I'm the lead game designer for the Lady Death card game, Lady Death: The Last Stand. We are putting it out through the company Cold War, which is an amazing unit, a tribe of a whole bunch of great people, of designers and social media people and artists. And all kinds of people on the business end, and we got a whole great team. We put out the Squarriors, the card game 2 years ago, or yeah, about 2 years ago, when we did the Kickstarter and everything. That's available on our website, kohler.us. We just finished up our second game, Fight Your Friends. Check that out at fightyourfriends.net. We did a great Kickstarter for that a few months ago, and it's literally on the boat shipping to the States. We're expecting to ship out copies of Fight Your Friends to our Kickstarter backers as soon as like next week. And it's already available on our website, coldwar.us. You can check out Fight Your Friends. And where we're at right now, what we're super excited about, Lady Death: Last Stand. What can I tell you about it right away? It is a single player or multiple player card game, but you're not playing against each other. You're playing against the demons and minions and masters living in hell that are trying to thank you, Tasty Crazy, that are basically trying to invade hell, or I'm sorry, invade Earth from hell through a hell gate. You play as Lady Death or one of her amazing epic friends, and you need to stop them. And it's all built into this amazing card game that's gonna let you live out these amazing adventures as Lady Death or as Brock or as Hell Rider. And there's a little question right there I get that we got for you. It was, what kind of avatars can you play as, and what kind of characters can you be in Lady Death? You can be Lady Death, of course. Super exciting. You got to be able to be Lady Death. But if you're playing with some buddies, or you want to try out a couple different ways to play the game, you can play as Brock or as Hell Rider, two of her allies in the earlier series of Lady Death. In Lady Death: Last Stand, the card game, you're going to pick out a campaign, follow the instances of that campaign by building a deck of a bunch of scary creatures of different tiers and things, lay them out in an amazing playmat, and basically go to war with all these different creatures as they try to come out of hell and make their way to Earth. So, with that, I've got a couple other screens I got to pull up. I don't know if that chat's working. I'm going to try to put in a command. No. I've got it up, but the chat bot is not rolling. It says I'm offline. It might be the IO thing that's going on. We're going through Restream, so I'm not sure if that's connected very well through the chat bot, but I can just carry on without that. So, Lady Death: Last Stand. It is a card game that you can play by yourself or with buddies. You've got several different game boards that you set up that come out of the box, along with a whole bunch of different cards and decks and a bunch of different dice. To start out a game, you'd pick up a campaign card. There's 15 different campaign cards, different campaigns that you can play through of varying difficulties, tier 1 all the way up through tier 5. So in an early game, you would choose a tier 1 campaign card. On that card, it would have a list of encounters that you're going to have to face, as well as some possible effects that could happen during the battle and during the game, and maybe some conditions and effects that will also happen. You pull out all of the encounters, shuffle them up, and they go into your tier 1 encounter deck, assuming you're doing a tier 1 game. You choose a few abilities, which are also noted on the campaign card. The campaign card will just let you know how many abilities you're able to use. I believe in the game there's 40 different ability cards, and there is no limit to which ones you can use, just how many you can use during a game. Most of the tier 1 campaigns allow you to use any 2 abilities. So you would pick out your abilities, shuffle up your encounters. Early on, you may or may not already have item cards. Certain avatars, such as Brock, can actually start out with an item. There is, I believe, 65 different items in the game, also of varying tiers and varying rarities, many of which are rewards from campaigns or rewards from beating different encounters during the games themselves. So once you've got your avatar and you've got your abilities picked out and you've got your encounter deck, you're going to start out by drawing an encounter. Now, with Lady Death, actually you can see her right here, that's why I've got her on the screen. She's actually a avatar card. She's kind of, am I going to point this way? Yeah, I'm going to keep doing that backwards. Right there, you can see actually what an avatar card looks like. So this is the card that will represent you as a player, and it's got a bunch of different stats on there. All the way to the left there is the power, and that is, the card is amazing. Also, artwork by Ashley Witter on the card itself, and the just amazing chaos. Yes, the card super wins games. The super awesome, amazing card frame, also by Ashley Witter. Thanks, Ashley. It looks amazing. Going back to the quick rundown of gameplay, right again here, there it is. Yeah, you're going to see all the way to the left is the first number, which is the power of the card. All the way to the right is the essence of the card. Essence sort of works like hit points. It's going to be a little different, and I'll answer a couple of questions about that as we go along. And the 3 middle numbers are the fire, shadow, and ethereal proficiency of that avatar. So all 3 avatars have different types of magic they can wield. There's fire magic, there's ethereal magic, and there's shadow magic. Now there's a lot of dice rolling in the attacks here, and those numbers in the middle, right there, actually tell you what kind of magic you can use for each of your rolls. The very first number all the way to the left again, the power, is actually how many dice you actually roll per attack and per turn. The middle numbers, again, are like the proficiency. That's how many of each of those dice you can roll. And all the way to the right is the essence. It's going to kind of work as hit points. And again, I'll go over that a little bit more as I address a couple direct questions that we got up here. So you've got your avatar, you've got your creatures out. You obviously have to attack them. You got to fight them. They got to fight you back. You got to deal damage. We'll run that down a little bit. How does that work? How does everything go with the dice? So as I had mentioned, the Lady Death Last Stand card game comes with some really badass, amazing, super cool dice. 18 of them, to be exact. There is 6 of the cool fire dice, 6 of the cool shadow dice, and 6 of the cool ethereal dice. Now, at the moment, I don't have an encounter card to show you, but it's kind of like the avatar card here. So we're going to use that as an example as I go through here. Oh, and I still have pretzel going. Yep, okay, there we go. Didn't realize I had pretzel going. Sorry about that, guys. Where was I at? Okay. So to kind of give you an idea of how attacking works in the game and just the interactions with the player versus the cards drawn from the encounter deck. Every avatar has the 3 numbers in the middle, the fire, the shadow, and the ethereal proficiency, which shows you how many of each type of dice you can roll. Now, with the encounters, they have a very similar setup where they also have the three numbers, the fire, the shadow, and the ethereal, but it's their resistance to that magic. And to deal damage to those creatures, you have to roll those dice and get higher than that number. If you have an encounter that has a 2 in fire and you roll a fire dice, if you roll a 2 or higher, you hit him, you deal damage, he loses essence. Again, kind of like the hit point mechanism. So a lot of what goes on in the thanks for I just noticed some follows coming through. Thanks DJ, thanks Smiley Sue for the follows. Thanks for everybody else who's been popping in and joining us as I kind of go through and give some quick rundown things about interesting Lady Death stuff. And I think that is closed out. Okay. Oh, and welcome to you guys. Oh, and I can't keep my Facebook thing up. I'm sorry, guys. Smiley. And just in case any of those people out there watching is Mom. Hi, Mom. Thanks for watching. Thanks for checking in on us. Okay, so I was going through telling you guys some stuff about the cards. I want to pull that thing back up so I know where I'm at. Okay. I was letting you know the interactions between... Guess who it is? Okay, the interactions between you as the player rolling dice against the encounters that you're drawing. So the fun thing, one of the, of course, many fun interactions and exciting things about Lady Death Last Stand is going to be choosing what type of dice to roll against your encounters. Every turn, you can roll up to as many dice as you have power. In the instance of this way, the Lady Death avatar there, you can see she has 6 power, which means that every single attack she can roll 6 dice. Of those 6 dice, 3 of them could be fire, 3 of them, up to 3 of them could be ethereal dice, up to 3 of them could be shadow dice. And you have to kind of decide which of those dice, which of those magics you want to use against your encounters based on their resistance. If they have low fire resistance, you're going to want to try to roll more fire damage. If they have low ethereal, roll some more ethereal dice. Okay, that's a little bit how that goes. And as these encounters kind of build up, they start moving across the board and get closer and closer to the Hellgate, in which then they become invaders. And once you have too many invaders, you'll lose the game. So, touching on another question up there. Also on the campaign cards. So every game, again, just to play a game, you just pull out a campaign card wherever you're at. If you want to do something easy, you start at campaign tier 1 all the way up to tier 5. And again, for people just joining us, we kind of mentioned that a little bit. There's 15 different campaigns that come inside. I had it this way, inside the box. 15 different campaigns. Every campaign has a list of encounters you have to defeat, how many abilities you can use, any kind of effects or conditions that happen, and the rewards for those campaigns. Most of the rewards end up having different gear and item rewards. Some of them are rare, some of them are common. There's 65 different items. Different gear pieces interact with each other and have abilities on their own. And every campaign lets you know what of those things you can use. So, hope that answers that. So, all right. And I'm going to take a look at the Twitch chat here, guys. Fishing. Yeah, I can see this. Yeah, the dice rolling around is super fun. Choosing, your combination of dice and managing your proficiencies. If you're going to go into a tier 3 campaign, that's going to be pretty tough. And, kind of ahead of time by looking at those characters, those encounters, and, maybe a lot of them have immunity to fire or just are really strong against fire. So you want to plan ahead with abilities that will lower their fire resistance, or you want to bring in, or just in general, some things that raise your proficiency so that you can roll, other, more shadow dice to counteract those resistances that those encounters have. So that all kind of plays into the strategy, how that works also. And I can tell you from playing literally like hundreds of games over, the last year. That is just, the dice hitting the table, or I guess in my case, hitting my little dice box. That's the fun part. And then taking those hits and strategically putting them against the different creatures to try to make sure that they're dead before they get to the Hellgate. So now I want to pull up some just direct notes, because I'm just going to let you guys know exactly what's in the box and what you can expect come, well, actually, I'm going to answer this right now, come Black Friday, which is hopefully, if everything goes super great, which I think it's gonna, we're going to launch the Lady Death Kickstarter on Black Friday, because, like, really, what better day to launch the first ever Lady Death game than on Black Friday? It doesn't get any blacker and darker and crazier than Lady Death, so that's where we're at. Let me get these notes pulled up so I can tell you guys which one's the spoiler. I'm going to tell you guys the stats on all this stuff here, which I should have had up previously, but I was trying to get that chat bot working. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. And again, if you guys are just joining us, I'm Ash. I am the game designer for Lady Death Last Stand, which is coming out through Cold War, through Kickstarter, this month, like in 4 weeks, Black Friday. I hope you guys check it out. And okay, now I'm gonna get some game components. So lots of the questions, like literally like 70% of the questions that came in were just directly questions about, how many cards, what kind of different things are in there. I'm just going to give you guys a complete rundown. Some of you guys are going to find that interesting. Some aren't going to care, but it's going to help address a whole bunch of questions all together. As we talked about at the beginning of the show here, there are 3 different avatars. These are the the cards that you can play as. These are the players, effectively. And out of the box, since there are 3 avatar cards, you could play up to 3 players at a time. That being said, in the future, more avatar cards coming out, you could play more players. It's not limited to only being able to play 3 players. But out of the box, you get 3 avatar cards. What you're going to be fighting against are the minions and the masters, which are the encounters. So it's about to get crazy. So the minions are all the different types of just normal, goony, fiendy, scary, demon, gross guys that are going to be charging you down from hell. There's going to be 5 different tiers of them. There are 44 different dudes, all from the pages of Lady Death, all straight from the comic book, straight from the art. 44 unique characters of actual minions, and for a total of actually 176 cards just of minion encounters, because there's multiples of those, because some of those campaigns you're going to have to be fighting, multiple mutant rats and, things like that. But there's also 5 master cards. Now the master, of course, the masters are going to be a little bit different than the regular encounters. These guys are going to have different types of abilities all to themselves, and the abilities are semi-random. And we're going to go into that a little bit later, because we've got a couple of specific questions on masters, so I'm going to pop back over there. But there are 5 different master cards. And now there are also a bunch of effects. Some of these effects, all of them are for the campaign. Some of them may, give different abilities to different types of creatures, or possibly hinder your team in some sort of way. There are 10 different effect cards. And some of these are shuffled into different campaigns. Some of these start in play. And as I mentioned a bunch of times now, there's a total of 15 campaign cards. Each tier, there are 5. There's 5 different campaigns for each tier right now. 5 of tier 1, 5 of tier 2, etc. And yeah, no, we definitely want some evil Ernie. Of course, we'll see if we can get there. There's no evil Ernie in this. That was a question, actually. There's no evil Ernie in this one. What else do we have? Okay, so that's 3 different avatars, 176 regular encounters, 5 masters, 10 effect cards, 15 for a total of 15 different campaigns and 15 different campaign cards. 60 items. All kinds of rare items, regular items, items that you can combine with different items to make them more powerful, ones that have abilities on them, all kinds of cool stuff. 60 different items that can be looted off of creatures and looted off of masters and things throughout playing the game. There are 36 abilities. 36 abilities that you can choose from at any time at the beginning of any campaign, uh, just suited to however you want to play that game at that time. Along with that, there's also master abilities. And here's where I'm going to talk about that real quick a little bit more. So when you're fighting through the encounter, some of these encounters and these campaigns are going to have a master card, who's obviously a boss card, effectively, and it's going to be shuffled in to your encounter deck. When that boss comes up, the boss is now in the battle and has a separate amazing game board that's going to have a list of ability slots that you're going to randomly put out, and every turn, he's going to be able to do some kind of crazy ability. He's going to be able to summon extra creatures, or, roll and deal more damage, or he's going to silence you, or something like that. Of these master abilities of them, we got 20. So there's 20 different master abilities and different combinations that'll be working with each of the different master cards. Several of these master abilities have duplicates so that they can possibly do different attacks and do different things, multiple times in a turn. So there's a total of 50 of those cards. I know we're excited about the dice. We're super excited about the dice. We've got killer, beautiful, amazing, gemmy, smoky, cool dice that come in the Lady Death game. For each type, there's the fire dice, the shadow dice, the ethereal dice, and in the game you're going to get 6 each of those dice. So 6 of the red, 6 of the blue, and 6 of the green in every core box here. With that, as I mentioned a couple times, there's game boards. A lot of this unfolds on, just out with different positions on the board, with being able to know where your avatar's at, and you have sections for where your items are and your spells. And there's a encounter board that goes across the table long ways, where all the characters go, the encounters move across to finally get to the invader spot. And there's 5 different game boards that are all inside there. We've got a bunch of different tokens, silence tokens, daze tokens, stun tokens, things like that. I think there's 9 different tokens, and you've got a bunch of essence counters. Essence counters, we mentioned earlier, kind of used like hit points. When something's out of essence, it's dead. But also something cool with the avatars is that when they deal damage, the essence from those encounters is actually transferred to them, giving them more and more hit points, so to speak, as the game goes on. So long as they're actually killing things. That's also how you're going to use your abilities. Your abilities use essence. So if you want to, use some sort of Reaper strike against, multiple creatures, it's going to cost you some of that essence to do that. So there's a lot of essence management in the game. And the game's going to come with 60 of those counters. Last but not least, what's going to be included, and this is super exciting, and this will be the first time this is even mentioned public, but within the box, you're going to have a rule book, of course, but it's not going to be any old rule book. It's going to be an actual Lady Death comic book rule book. And within that comic book rule book, you're actually going to have a short little Lady Death story written by myself and illustrated by Chris Capana. And it's going to literally just be another amazing Lady Death collectible to add to your sworn display case. It's beautiful. It's got a cover much like the game cover here by Ashley Witter. And yeah, it's beautiful. It's going to have all the rules and everything in the comic and an awesome story in there for you. All right, so that goes over all the game components. Ooh, we're already half hour in. That went quick. And I think that went to most of these questions got covered. Anybody in Twitch that happens to have any kind of questions you want to start popping out, I think I covered most of the email stuff. Real quick, what I want to do before we get to hitting those questions, uh, I'm sure you guys want stuff. Everybody wants stuff, right? I know I would like stuff if I was watching the stream. So here's the thing. If you subscribe to our Twitch stream, which is going on right now, if you're on Twitch, you're already seeing it. We're doing something super amazing. Subscribe just for the month. Hit the subscribe button on Twitch, and we're going to send you a copy of Spring Number 1, the whole entire first series of Scorriors, and a trade paperback. We're literally just going to send you one for free. All you have to do is just hit the subscribe button on our Twitch channel. We are literally going to send you a trade paperback of Summer Number 1, the whole first series with the cool Scorriors the card game variant cover. So if you want that, it's free. We're going to ship it to you. Hit that subscribe button, and then I'm going to have you guys email. Where is my other thing? Here we go. Because I don't have because my chat bot's not working. I had that set up, and it was going to work all cool. But instead, while you're watching this, if you subscribe, go ahead and send your info to info@coldwar.us, and we're going to send you a Scorriors trade paperback. Just let us know what your Twitch handle is so we can verify it. Send your info into info@coldwar.us. Thanks, Ojeep. Thanks, Travis. We'll get you guys some stuff. And let's do some questions. I know I already covered a lot, and that was kind of the point. I didn't want to have everybody just kind of sit here for an hour as people went through things. I hope I nailed all the big stuff, but I think now would be a good time to hit some questions. If anybody in Twitch has got something, thanks Fuzzy Tuna. Thanks for following us again. For all the new subs, you guys are getting a Scorriors book. Just send your info over to info@coldwar.us. And while I'm talking about that, please check out all of our stuff at coldwar.us. You can check out, of course, Lady Death Last Stand. You can check out Scorriors the card game, and you can check out Fight Your Friends. Does the game have a backstory? The game indeed does have a backstory that is told in the comic book. That is also the rule book. So I'm going to leave a lot of that to the book itself, but yes, there is a direct backstory. It's not to say that it's canon with the rest of the Lady Death universe. This is just, in its own little fantasy fiction, alternate fictional Lady Death universe. But yes, indeed, there is a backstory, and you'll be able to read a little bit about it in that Lady Death rule book. The comic book will only be inside the Lady Death game itself. It won't be anything like through Diamond or at comic shops or anything. It'll only come in the game. Okay, Kickstarter rewards. That was actually on my list, but I didn't hit that. I'm not sure why. Okay, yes, we've got some good ideas for Kickstarter rewards. We've already got most of our Kickstarter campaign already set up, waiting to submit it. You're going to have of course, the Lady Death Last Stand core game box that you see. God dang, right there. You're going to get that, which has the dice and all the components that I said on there. There's also going to be a beautiful Lady Death Last Stand playmat. That's much like the other beautiful 3mm rubber-backed playmats that we do from Cold War. There will be a special early adopter card that will be an avatar of Lady Death that'll have a special foil alternate art version on that. Anybody who backs us as an early adopter will actually get that card. There's also just a general 5-card promo set that'll be available only on Kickstarter. Again, of the same cards that you get in the core box, but just of cool alternate art that you can use. And yeah, so that's some of the different Kickstarter rewards that we've got up there right now. Uh, asking for the low. Did I miss that earlier or something? Ashley is doing the artwork for the packaging and did uh, the card frames and did the actual Lady Death avatar. But all of the artwork in on the rest of the cards is all artwork straight from the pages of the comic book. There'll definitely be a digital copy of the rulebook. That's a good question. And yes, there'll be a digital copy of the rule book. Usually we have that stuff available on the coldwar.us website. You can just go up there and grab a PDF of it. It's not available up there yet, but it'll be up there. Um, uh, yes, so on Kickstarter, just like our other games, there will be a retailer option that'll be on the Kickstarter directly. After the Kickstarter itself, of course, we'll still have the regular channels open to retailers, but there will also be a reward on the Kickstarter that will cover something special for brick and mortar stores. So, avatar cards directly themselves don't like morph or get more powerful, but the more games you play, the more items you unlock for your character. Uh, and the harder the tier, the more abilities you can use. So, with a combination of abilities and different types of gear and items, the more you play and the more you do in the game, your avatar gets stronger through those means. Yeah, so the that's basically what the tiers are. It's just a difficulty range. At any given time, you can pull any tier campaign and just try with your little, level one avatar character and see how you do. It'd be really hard, and you probably won't beat it. But you can just the higher the tier, just more recommended to already have more experience with the game and to have some better gear built up and to kind of have a better handling on how to use combinations of abilities and things. Yeah, tell your local gaming shops. Check out Lady Death Last Stand and check out Cold War. We got a lot of great stuff. Uh, at this time, we don't have any plans for alternate versions of the rule book, but again, that's definitely just at this time. If you're familiar with Lady Death, you definitely know that she comes out with a whole lot of different variants and covers and things, and we are working directly with Brian and Coffin Comics, so there could be a possibility of some sort of special covers, but at this time, we don't have anything planned specifically for that. Average length of a game. Early tier 1 games can go pretty quick, but I would say you're going to need about 15, 20 minutes. Some of the tier 5 games can get pretty involved. I know I've personally had games that went 45 minutes to an hour deep into a tier 5 game with, a bunch of gear and combinations and, different effects going on. So, depending on what difficulty level you're playing, I would say anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour. I wish I could better check what was going on my Facebook stream. I don't know if there's any questions or anything there. We did cover a whole heck of a lot. I'm going to check back onto Twitch here and see if we got any other questions. Again, I'm going to let everybody know one more time about our special awesome promotion we're running right now. If you subscribe to our Twitch channel, we're going to send you a copy of Scorier's Summer #1, the whole first volume trade paperback. Scorier's the card game, special variant edition. All you got to do is subscribe to our Twitch channel and then send us an email over at info@coldwar.us to let us know it's you, and we'll get your info from you and send you a book. Uh, got a couple more questions. Oh, no, we got, price point. Right now we're looking at for the Kickstarter version at least. This may or may not change a little bit for the actual regular retailer version. The Kickstarter version is going to start at $45. All early adopters will be listed in the comic book rulebook, and that is noted in the different reward tiers. I don't believe the regular rewards are going to be listed in there, but all early adopters from every tier will be listed in the book. Good question. Thanks, Fishing. We have discussed. There's a question out there. Can we buy Lady Death Last Stand card sleeves for the game? We are actually looking into card sleeves. That may be something that's even available as soon as the Kickstarter on Black Friday. But right now we don't have anything like that in the works. But that's definitely something we want to have in the real near future. Not sure if we'll have that for the Kickstarter though. Thanks for that question, OG. All right. So again, I ask you guys if you want, subscribe to the Twitch channel, and we'll send you a book. It's been awesome hanging out with you guys. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for checking everything out. Again, you can check us out at coldwar.us. You can check out the Lady Death Last Stand directly at ladydeathgame.com. That's another good thing. Yes, there will be the dice that come in the game as an additional tier reward for Kickstarter. Of course, we got an amazing set of deluxe special dice that you can get as an add-on. That'll be available also. I forgot to mention that. And we're excited about those. We'll give you more details as we do some more streams here and do some other events in the couple of weeks leading up here, which again are going to be moving fast. We've got a lot to show you guys. We're going to be showing you the different cards and everything real soon. I'm thinking next week you're probably going to start seeing what the actual encounter cards look like. And we're going to start showing you the boards and a little bit here and there. And it's going to be hitting on Black Friday, and we'll have a video for you. We'll be launching. We're super excited. Oh, and of course, one thing I did forget. What is this was actually sent in from the thing on Facebook. Glad I got that. For Kickstarter, right now, the anticipated goal is $80,000. So, forgot to hit that earlier. Thanks for sending that in, Mike. $80,000 is what we're looking at for our initial Kickstarter goal. But yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for joining us, especially on this Saturday. It was great. Appreciate it. Thanks for everybody that sent in questions. Thanks for everybody that hung out with us. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the subscriptions. This was awesome, guys. We're really excited about Lady Death Last Stand. It's coming soon. Again, thanks for hanging out with us. Peace. Arr!